Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, is my co-host from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D. How you doing today, bro?
Ready to go, man.
Hey, I'm ready to get into this review, too. We're reviewing Stargirl, Season 2, Episode 11, Summer School, Chapter 11. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, like you always tell everybody,
like, follow, subscribe to the channel, podcast below in the description, and thank you for watching.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. This episode, I know me and D, we talked about it earlier, and D was saying that, you know, it kind of didn't feel like, you know, a Stargirl episode because of the direction that they were going. Like, it was moving kind of slow, but, you know, for me, I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I thought it was cool seeing Courtney and Shadowlands and seeing previous people that she encountered in her life. That the Dragon King was there, the magician was there with his
the whole family.
The whole family was there, and I can't remember his son's name, but
Joey.
Was it Joey?
I think it's Joey.
Like he pretty much he did the same trick that he had did with Courtney back when he first met her, and originally like Courtney had lied to him, but this time in the Shadowland, it was actually her card. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was interesting. And then when Courtney does eventually run into Cindy, it's like Cindy's just like, "Oh wow, you're bleeding! Like you're the real thing." Since season 1, I've always enjoyed the dynamic between Cindy and Courtney. Especially because back in season 1, before Cindy even found out that she was Stargirl, it's like she did try to become friends with Courtney because just how positive Courtney can be, and like how she just wants to always be friends with people and she wants to help people, even though she can be gung-ho sometimes, and she can be very strong-headed about her emotions and opinions on certain things. Courtney is a good person, and she always tries to find the good in everybody. So it was just interesting watching this episode and seeing her in the Shadowlands and seeing her. I was about to say Mephisto. I don't know why I always want to call Eclipse Mephisto.
He's very close. They're very close, actually.
They are
demonic, and they just take moments out. Yeah,
but Eclipso, you know, he's in the Shadowland, and you know, he's just messing with Courtney's head. I mean, we see Rick, we see Yolanda. And pretty much how he's telling her that because of you, like, you know, your friends are miserable. If you would have never came into these people's lives, then they wouldn't be where they are right now. But we all know how villains are, D, and I'll pass the mic to you, but it's like villains, like they'll say these things to make you feel bad about yourself and to feel down. But we all know that if it wasn't for Courtney, like, we don't know where Yolanda would be at right now. Same thing with Rick. Like, Rick would still be with his abusive uncle, and Rick wouldn't be trying to better himself because, I mean, like, the dude's intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the teacher, she told him, like, yo, you need to go to college. Like, you're smart. So,
for sure.
D, passing the mic to you. Like, what were your thoughts on the episode?
I thought this episode, like I said, it picked up pretty slow the first, I'd say, 20 minutes. I was kind of like, okay, the pace was a little off, but they were giving us a lot of not character development, but a lot of story. And then it just kind of roller coasters and goes right into things. And I appreciated that, man. Once again, another good week from Stargirl. Like you said, basically, Eclipso's in there. He's feeding off of things in the Shadowlands. And he's feeding off of, you know, basically their despair, their misery, their sorrow. You know, the whole 9 yards. And I do like the fact that you kind of get a little bit of a kind of like a little team up with Courtney and old girl. What's Cindy? Yeah, so that was kind of cool. You know, we get Dr. Midnighter back finally, which was fun. You know, it's, you know, and I kind of felt, I don't know how you feel about him as a character too, since we're here. We kind of got the whole, he gives me the Vision vibes, the way they introduced him. Yeah. Because at first you just get the digital, all you get is him in the goggles, and then you actually meet him and the voice kind of syncs up. So yeah, I like the episode though, man. It really brung it back home for me. Yeah. So, yep.
And to piggyback off of what you were saying about Dr. Midnight, I thought it was cool when him and Courtney were talking, and he was talking about the JSA and the ISA, and how Shade had came over to his house after Eclipse had killed his daughter because he felt bad for him, and he just always felt that the Shade was his responsibility, and that he wished that he would have had taken him out before he did what he did. And I like how he said that the reason why he's in the Shadowlands is because the Shade absorbed him to protect him from the ISA, because we know when the JSA fought the ISA, like not everybody made it in that final fight. So it's like we talk about the Shade, and I mean we see in this episode that it's like, yes, he was working with the ISA, but he wasn't really that bad of a guy, even though he was a villain. I guess you could say that he was an anti-villain. You always hear about anti-heroes, but you never hear about anti-villains, because the Shade, he helped the JSA defeat Eclipse the first time, even though they had to, get their hands muddy in order to get the job done. But it's just interesting seeing that, like he said, Eclipse came over to his house. They had a couple of drinks. They finished the whole bottle. It's interesting seeing that stuff. Yeah. And I just like how what you had said that, Cindy and Courtney, it's like, they do team up. And at the end of the episode, it's like Cindy's just like, all right, who wants to kill Eclipse? So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen next. Also, too, when Cindy was blaming Courtney for her being stuck there, it's just like, nah, Cindy, it's just like you're the reason why you're stuck there. Like,
of course,
you're the one that wanted to make a new ISA,
exactly,
and go after the JSA and all that stuff. So that's your own fault. So
for sure.
Oh, and it was also cool seeing the violinist there, and she was there with her son. Like like that was cool. And then going back to like the rest of the JSA. Jade, she feels bad because Courtney, she wasn't able to save her and whatnot. But when Beth gets the call from Dr. Midnight, and he's just like, yo, like we're still in here and everything. And I'm just glad that the Shade was able to redeem himself and use his
pretty cool
powers.
Way to go out.
Yeah, he was just like, hey, make sure y'all let people know that I was a hero.
And he was a very likable character. I thought he was a likable character the whole way through. And also, now that he's come to a conclusion as of right now, anyway, we don't know what they're going to do with him in the future, but it kind of brought it full circle to how they introduced him as a character to begin with, how he was always in the photograph or the mounted picture in the ISA, but he was he was in the background basically, and it really made sense to me. And I'm pretty sure he'll always be one of my favorite characters on the show. I love this rendition of him. Very fun. Yeah, very smooth, criminal-ish.
Yep, it was definitely a good touch adding him to the show. I mean, because we get him at the end of season 1 where it's like I never agreed with what that and like that right there. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like he just never agreed with some of the stuff that the ISA did. Like,
he did what he wanted.
He worked with them because it's like they both wanted the same thing, but at the same time, it's like he didn't want what's the word, B? Where it's just like you like y'all
going with the flow.
Yeah, it's like y'all like the stuff that you're trying to do, it aligns with one another. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I might as well work with y'all because I know that I can get what I need, even though I don't agree with everything that y'all are doing.
Correct.
I don't have the same goals in mind that y'all have in mind. Like I have a different set of goals. Like y'all are trying to take over the world. I'm just trying to be an evil badass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
But yeah, and look, for all we know, he could possibly still be alive. We don't know.
We don't know.
He just faded away. So who knows? I just know we have 2 episodes left. This episode was really good. I got what is the movie that has Tobey Maguire? Pleasantville. I got those vibes in the Shadowlands because it was in black and white and whatnot.
Nice.
We didn't see Beth. Oh yeah, we did see Beth. I don't know why I was gonna say we didn't see Beth. But yeah, I'm glad that we're seeing more of Beth. I'm glad that she
she needed her development. Yes. About time.
Yeah.
I do want to mention too that I know you haven't seen this movie yet, and I've been telling you to watch it for some time now, The Watchmen, where how he described the Shade coming into his house and having a drink. There's a very about the same sequence, except it's a hero goes to a villain's to have a drink, and it's literally just that. So you'll see and know the scene once you get there. But I thought that was very cool, and also I definitely think they're going to use the genie to bring back Rick's broken. Right. I think that's how they're going to get his hourglass back.
Yeah,
because we talked about it. We were like, what are they gonna? That's kind of kaput otherwise. Yeah, so and that makes sense. So I'm curious to see if the brother's gonna get the pin back, or is it gonna stay with the kid we got introduced to?
I think it's gonna stay with the kid.
That's what I was thinking.
Because somebody had commented on one of our videos and was pretty much talking about the kid that has the pin. So. Nice. I do want to know what's going to happen with Mike later on. And also, too, something else I want to touch on is because this year we got both of the Wilson brothers in TV shows. We got Luke Wilson on Stargirl, and then we got Owen Wilson on Loki. And, it's like I like Owen Wilson, but it's like it's something about Luke Wilson. You know what I'm saying? It's like
he's very marketable. It's just who he is. I
don't mean like like in a marketable way or anything like that, but I just mean like their roles, because like Owen Wilson's character was kind of similar. Like he was the voice of reason, and he was the guide to Loki on Loki, and like that's the same thing how Patty is. Luke Wilson is with Courtney. Like he's the voice of reason. So it's just like. Between the both of them, I like Luke Wilson's performance more than Owen Wilson's performance, even though, and that's not knocking Owen Wilson because his performance was good. It's just that there's something about Luke Wilson as Pat that I just like way more than Mobius. There we go. Mobius.
Well, it's easy, man. I think that this role just suits him better. He got the better handshake. You know what I mean? Because I know you say it's not a marketing thing, but you do have to think about the projects that they're on. To me, this show just it has more dynamics to it. Like he was just kind of on Loki. You know what I'm saying? And we know what we both individually think about the pace of the two different shows. I think a lot of that has to do with it. It's just Stripesy is sweet, and he's got the sweet robot. He's just a cool character. But I think it works for Luke.
I was just thinking about it when I was watching the episode earlier, and I was just like, like I enjoy both of them, but I just enjoy Luke Wilson more than Owen Wilson. But that's not to say, because I just feel like when it comes to certain roles, like,
that's
like
part of it.
Owen. Like I like Owen Wilson more in comedies, but when it's come to like the superhero genre, you know what I'm saying? It's like I think that Luke Wilson does a better job, because I don't think that this is the first time Luke Wilson has done a superhero project either. So
probably not. I know him from something, I just can't right now.
Yeah, it's just interesting when family members, because I mean, like, look at Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. Like, she was on Gotham, and then he was dead shot in Suicide Squad. You know what I'm saying? So it's these things happen. But anyway, D, final thoughts on the episode, rating for the episode.
Loved it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I'm ready to see the gang get put back together, man. It's time. It's go time now. We got 2 episodes to go. Let's go ahead and round this out at the top of the mountain. Thanks. You?
Yeah, I agree with you. For me, I give it a 9 out of 10 because I just enjoyed seeing Courtney like coming into her own, because she was by herself. It's like she had to stand up for herself in order to get out of the Shadowland, and just seeing her and Cindy like have like that bonding moment, even though like they really don't like each other like that, or Cindy doesn't really like Courtney for real. So
yes,
I'm just glad that they're gonna work together. But of course, you already know what's gonna happen. Like after they defeat Eclipse, so Cindy, she's gonna just be a villain. I don't see her becoming a good guy. Like
that would be interesting.
I mean, in a way, Cindy's kind of the Vegeta of this show when you think about it.
Yeah.
So
lying.
So yeah. With that being said, thank you for watching our review. Let us know what you thought about this week's episode. Did you like it or did you hate it? Let us know what your rating is for the episode. D, let them know where they can find you at the social media land.
You can find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. And hey, Banks, They're trying to get the game back together, man. It's go time. Got to find Eclipse. And they ain't no star, man. Where can they find this man?
Hey, you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this review. Make sure that you check out more of our reviews, interviews, reaction videos that we do have here on the channel. Our podcast, where we have brand new episodes every Tuesday. And then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube that Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive, stay safe during this spooky season. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.